there, and welcome to The Bridge. My name is Kelly.
And I'm Armani Walton. Welcome to the second season of the only television show written by DeKalb students, produced by DeKalb students, and performed by DeKalb students. I am from Tucker High School.
And I'm from Southwest DeKalb High School. We have a great show for you today.
Yep, we're talking about school uniforms, and we'll kick back and talk about performing arts.
Yes, there's a lot more too. Sydney Rhame is back, and our very own Taylor will perform for us too. So relax and stay tuned to this episode of The Bridge. Welcome back. Last time she was here, she was so good, we just had to bring her back.
Yes, let's get started. Welcome to the stage, Sydney Rhame.
I found myself thinking of you today. All of your wise comments and your crooked smile saying that the world would be a better place with more Jack Johnson. I flash back to the time when you were all mine, golden skin and sky blue eyes, wishing for the day that you could play the guitar just like Jack Johnson. Well, you were my world, then you moved halfway across it. But I'm your girl, and nothing can stop it. So I'll follow wherever you go. Well, I'm running, I'm flying, I'm driving, and I know that I'll get to you someday if I follow you. I found myself thinking of our summer days, staying up late laughing and memorizing details in your face, and sitting on the porch and playing Jack Johnson. Well, you were my world, then you moved halfway across it. But I'm your girl, and nothing can stop it. So I'll follow wherever you go. Well, I'm running, I'm flying, I'm driving, and I know that I'll get to you someday if I follow you. And if I could, I would go back in time and tell you don't go. I tell you don't go, come home. Come home. I'm gonna follow, and I'll follow wherever you go. Well, I'm running, I'm flying, I'm driving, and I know that I'll get to you someday if I follow you. And I hope you like this song as much as you like Jack Johnson. Yeah.
Yes.
Sydney, that was an amazing performance. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I actually really like that song. That was very good.
Thank you.
Okay. So next we're going to be keeping it 100 with Towers High School Principal Ralph Simpson. So stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Keeping It 100. We're here with the principal of Towers High School, Dr. Ralph Simpson. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for inviting me.
First off, congratulations on being Principal of the Year. What does that mean to you?
Wow, it's amazing. It's an amazing acknowledgement to be recognized amongst the many principals in this school district who do such a fine job. It is certainly recognition of hard work that not only for myself, but hard work that the students, the teachers, and the administrators at Towers High School put in every single day. To serve as what I consider to be an ambassador for the DeKalb School District. It's like, you representing the company brand, and you have to represent that any and everywhere you go because that recognition, you've been singled out, and you have to conduct and carry yourself accordingly, whether that's within the school hours or school days and outside of the school days. So, it is one that, out of all of the years that I've served as a principal, one that I truly cherish, one that I always remember, and probably the one that's most memorable and most meaningful because there are so many people that do such a great job in this school district that it is beyond belief. I have to touch myself or pinch myself from time to time and ask myself if it really, really happened. So it's an honor. It's an honor bestowed upon a person that just believes in working hard every day.
Yes. So as the principal of Towers High School and also winning Principal of the Year, you are a leader. You're a pretty big, influential person in the community. So what are the steps to becoming a leader?
Well, oftentimes we're thrust into the position. I had no idea that, looking back, that I'd one day become a principal or be in a leadership position. While I wanted to be the captain of my Little League baseball team, and, that type of leadership it just comes with being a part of the team or organization. When I started teaching years and years ago, I had no idea that I would, actually be in this particular seat. However, I was motivated by one of my favorite movies, Lean On Me. And while teaching, I thought that, or felt that was a way in which I wanted to touch children. I honestly went into education thinking that I'd be a teacher for 30 years or more. But when I saw the movie and how this person inspired confidence and belief in all of the individuals that he touched, I just felt like it was something that I could do. So I went back to school and got a master's and prepared myself for a leadership position. But, it's more than just going back getting the degree. That doesn't necessarily make you a leader. It provides you with all of the credentials. It certifies you as it relates to the qualifications. But that does not mean that you are going to be a quality leader. So once I've completed all of those steps and was selected or appointed to that particular position, that's when the rubber truly meets the road. I mean, you actually don't know if you are going to be successful or lack thereof until you get in the position. I was blessed and immediately experienced some success because I always approached it from a student-centered perspective. My decisions, any and all that I did for children as it relates to them and their academic achievement, the school, was based upon children first. All of my decisions were children first. So I tried to remain student-centered, and that's building relationships and fostering relationships any at all times. That's being in the hallways, being in the cafeteria, supporting them during their extracurricular activities because they look for that. Students want to see, or children want to see their administrators or their teachers as they participate in those events. And that helps to build those types of relationships. So that was my challenge going into it because I knew that while I became an administrator, it would also distance me from, separate me from the classroom. But again, my goal was to have that impact like Joe Clark had. And I think I've been quite successful at it. I've had some success as principal at Stone Mountain High School and Miller Grove High School and now at Towers. And that's been my formula, to be student-centered, to provide activities, to provide an environment that's conducive to teaching and learning, that's free of disruption, that's free of distraction, that's free of disturbances, so students can come to school and learn, and so the teachers can teach.
Awesome. Now, in today's generation especially, students are succumb to peer pressure most of the time. So how do you encourage leadership in the classroom and in the curriculum?
Well, you know, I try to inspire and encourage my students that, yeah, while we all understand that peer pressure is going to always have its impact, but at some point you're going to have to decide on whether you're going to be a part of the solution or part of the problem. And in becoming a part of the solution, you have to identify what it is that's going to make things better for you. And there are some students and children coming to schools with a vast array of circumstances and situations. But I always inspire them and try to get them to understand that if you hate or despise your condition or your status or your circumstances so much, then you would work to change them. Don't become a victim of your environment. Try to change your environment. And in doing so, the best equalizer that I know out of, the best thing or method that I know to level the playing field is an education. That is the best equalizer. So regardless to what type of household you come from, regardless to what city, what state, regardless, that if you believe in the fact that education is a means to your success, then you have that opportunity just as anyone else in this world, just as anyone else in this country, and just as anyone in this school district. If you buy into that, yes, my peers, you know, it's one thing that I've always said to my students. For those that don't get it, for those that don't understand that it's important, those that don't understand and see that this is a means to their success, can't allow and don't allow for this person to become so toxic and so disruptive that it affects the way in which you go about it. You know, as sad as it may say, I would always say this: if you don't want it, don't allow for anyone else to be infected with what you don't want. Because there are some individuals that's coming to school every day to get an education. Don't turn them away from it. Don't allow for your negative peer pressure to rub off on someone else. If your peer pressure is just that strong, then hopefully, and we want it to be one where it continues to inspire and encourage others.
Yes. Thank you for all of that useful information. Can you join us in our kickback about school uniforms?
Absolutely.
Thank you. This is Dr. Ralph Simpson, and I'm Taylor, and this is Keeping It 100.
Today, joining us on our kickback with us, we have Dr. Simpson, the principal of Towers High School, and Mrs. White.
Yes, Mrs. White is the parent of a DeKalb County student, our very own Hannah. And Dr. Simpson was, as he said, principal of Towers High School and was recently recognized as Principal of the Year. So congrats on that.
Congratulations. All right, pit crew, what is the deal with the uniforms? Yay or no?
No. Yay, yes. No. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Why yes?
Because uniforms make everyone look the same. And that's what we want in schools. We need everyone to look the same.
No. Prison camp.
I have to disagree with Shalom. I'm sorry. I feel that uniforms, they take away the students' creativity and uniqueness. Right. I mean, we come to school, it gives us a chance to show our personalities through our clothing, show who we are. With uniforms, you're all dressed the same, and you're just like another person in a face in a huge crowd. You don't stick out. You don't have a creativity to you.
Well, some may say that you're going to school to learn, not really to try and stand out in a crowd. So the point of the uniforms, I guess, is to really focus on education.
But there is some creativity with the wearing of the uniform. You can be as creative as you like with the uniform itself. I mean, most schools that have gone to uniforms, they give a variation. You have different colors, which are most applicable to the school. And then, of course, the bottoms are typically the same, whether it be khaki pants, khaki shorts, khaki skirt. It can be cargo, they can be slacks. But who's to say you can't put on an Oxford shirt and put on a bow tie or a necktie? Who's to say you can't put on a V-neck sweater or a cardigan sweater or a blazer? So the creativity that you're actually looking for, you can find it within the uniform.
Well, you just said something interesting. You did say something correct. School is to learn, but if school is just for education to learn, then why do they put so much emphasis on wearing uniforms if clothing isn't important?
School is
Yeah, I've been to a school where they do regulate your hair the way it is, like for girls and boys, especially your socks, the colors, and you're required to wear ties and uniforms.
Right. Let me ask you all a question though. Many of you all, I'm certain, after you matriculated through high school and college, your intentions and your goals or aspirations are to get a job or go into a career with someone. Am I correct?
Yes.
Want to make a lot of money, right?
Yes.
Okay, what if with this particular career, this job, they said that you have to dress a certain way? That there's a brand that we want you to look like the company brand and you have to dress accordingly. Are you going to turn that job down because they want you to dress a certain way?
Well, you are being paid for it and it is professional.
Good.
I think there is some difference.
And this is preparation, because failure to prepare is like preparing to fail. See, at some point you have to realize and recognize and respect what the rules are, because when you turn 17, the rules become laws. So if you have respect for what the rules are now, then you have no adjustment to make when they turn into laws. So this is all a means to get you to respect and understand what the rules are so that you have a better understanding of what the laws are. Listen, we're not trying to take away from your individuality or your creativity. It's not about that. But you all know that there are certain of your peers that when they come to school, what they dress is not about the clothes. It's how they wear the clothes. And that's a distraction. And if that's one distraction in your class where your teacher has to take time away from teaching the entire class, then that means you're getting less of an education. You're being deprived of an education because someone's disruptive gear or clothing has taken away from the time of that teacher teaching your class. So look at it from that standpoint. You are there to get an education, but we want to eliminate any distractions or any disruptions so that you can get that. And in many of our schools, clothes and the wearing of those clothes has created an issue and a disturbance. So in order to get back to the business of teaching and learning, we have to take that away from you.
What if we could make a rule like you can wear what you want, but you need to dress appropriately for school? You still can't show off a lot of skin, but you can still wear like t-shirts if you like, or bell bottoms, or just in the colors you want, but restrict like. Yeah.
I think the thing is, it's like a scale, and you have your super intense uniforms where it's super straight, like you have to do this, and then you have a little more relaxed uniform codes where it say, oh, simply wear the school colors like khaki, blue, and gold, whatever. So it really, I guess it depends. I think I'm more for the lax type of uniform. I think you all can agree with that, where you do have a little more freedom of expression, but it can still, you're not taking away from the learning environment.
As a parent, I've been on both sides of that. I've had children in uniform and out of uniform. And I would like to say something about both sides. Out of uniform, meaning what many of you are expressing here, where you're able to express your own individuality, there's certain merits for that, and I don't argue that. However, here's how I look at it. You're in school for about 6 or 7 hours a day, right? About 6 or 7 hours. I see that as your job, a place where you're first committed to your intellect. Secondly, you're committed to all of those other ways that you can express yourselves. But many of those ways can be expressed through ways that have already been identified, through hair and some of the other accessories, etc. I really believe that the value of education in my own experience, in my own household, and as a parent, was greatly enhanced when my children were in uniform. You know why? The biggest impact was the fact that they were less distracted when they were worried about what they were going to wear.
Right.
True, it does save a lot of time in the mornings.
Exactly. Like, I admit, I love wearing my own clothes, but I get distracted sometimes when I get home. I'm like, all right, I have to look good tomorrow. What do I wear? Then I'm like, oh no, I wore this 3 days ago. I can't wear it again. It's like, well, this pair of shoes is dirty. I have to do, like, I just think uniform makes everything more simple, less distracting, and makes for a better learning environment.
Well, when I was in school, when I was going to a uniform school, they weren't that strict on it, but still, we didn't want the uniform. Girls would start, because the skirts were really long, so we rolled up the skirts to, rolled up the skirts, and then, and like we tuck our hoodies in, because even though we weren't allowed them, we still wanted to put them on just because we didn't care. Well, we did care, but we didn't care. And like, we do things just to show them that we just didn't like the control. I know it's very difficult to feel controlled 24/7. Like at home, you're controlled by your mom, your dad, older siblings. At school, administrators constantly yelling at you for something so simple as you're not wearing the correct sock.
Yeah, I think that like you were talking about, you're saying that one of the bigger issues is the way people wearing their clothes, but like she said, people can roll up the skirts on their uniforms. I guess what I'm saying is, how do you work on that issue rather than just giving them a uniform?
How I work on it, I'm at the front door every school, every school day. As soon as they get off the bus, I'm there. As soon as they walk off the bus into the gymnasium, there's another administrator there. So while I address mainly the male students, I have female staff members and female administrators to address the female students. But you know what? I want y'all to consider this from a school safety perspective. Let's just say hypothetically, the bottoms that you have to wear are khaki, all right? Whether it be pants, skirts, shorts. And there's an intruder in your building. Schools are most vulnerable in the morning and in the afternoon, because all you have to do is look school-aged. If you look school-aged, you can walk into just about any school if you have on some jeans and whatever type of gear. If you look school-aged and walking into a building where there are no uniforms, you can blend in with everyone. But if you have uniforms and you see someone in your building that has on jeans, that sends up a red flag. I mean, because it's happened. Anytime I see a young man of school age with jeans, any and every one of my staff is alerted to that person as to who are you and what are you doing here. So from a school safety perspective, it helps for us to be able to identify those who need to be there and those who don't need to be there.
So I understand that Towers High School is a uniform school.
Yes, sir.
I think that's a great way to think about uniforms in schools. Right. That's a great way.
Yeah, we want to be safe, right?
But think about it this way, though. If you're dressed up, you know, in uniform going to school, right, and you say that gives a person a certain attitude about themselves. If it's like something special, like going to church or dressing up for a party or dressing up, you know, just for a certain day out of the week, you would carry yourself differently, because I've noticed that even when I dress up, I carry myself differently. But I feel that if you're wearing the same colors, the same uniform every day, it's not really going to change how you feel, because then you're just going to get used to it. You're going to get relaxed, and you're not really going to take it as anything special because you do it all the time.
Let me offer this to you. It's the person to make the clothes and not the clothes to make the person. So it's within you. So don't get caught up into just the uniform. I mean, you got to wake up every morning with your game face on and the attitude that I'm going to school to get an education. Me getting an education is a means to my success. The uniform is just an effort in making sure that I'm compliant, that these are the expectations and I'm just following the expectations. But don't get so caught up into the uniform that it belittles or marginalizes your aspirations and your goals. You feeling comfortable in your skin, you feeling comfortable in your body has nothing to do with the clothes that you put on.
Right, and then you also have to think about, you're thinking from a standpoint from the point of view of the people who are like, oh, I carry myself like I feel special, but now that I wear a uniform, I look like everyone else. Think about the people that, when you don't wear a uniform, the people that carry themselves kind of low-like and have a low self-esteem. When everyone looks the same, those people are going to be basically, in terms of like popularity and like fashion and stuff, they'll be on the same level as everyone else, which will make them feel better, and like that'll kind of get rid of all the different levels of popularity and style and stuff like that.
I really like that point.
Why does popularity even matter? I mean, popularity isn't a big deal. It's just about being yourself and expressing who you are.
And even with the uniform, like I said earlier in Dappernistas, a true Dapperista can still find ways to spruce it up, you know what I'm saying? And you can still be popular.
You do it.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking from a person who actually wears uniforms on a day-to-day basis, like I go to Columbia, and we recently started wearing uniforms. And honestly, I can say that my school life has pretty much never been better. I have good grades. I mean, I've been used to it because my first job was at an amusement park over in Austell. So they had regulations on how I had to have my fingernails, what type of socks I had to wear, what type of shoes. So working that whole summer, I got used to it. Then I'm in marching band, so we wore uniforms after school. So to add uniforms to school, it wasn't too much of a big change to me. Now when it comes to the people that have low self-esteem and everything, I've been one of those people, and a couple of my friends, you know, they've been kind of the people that, you know, kind of fall back into the background and don't really like to be seen. But like you said about adding style to the uniform, I know when I wear my uniform, they just tell us all we have to do is wear orange, blue or white, khakis, black slacks, or blue slacks. That's it. And all brown, all white shoes. But hey, you can still style it up. They didn't say you couldn't wear jewelry. They didn't say you couldn't have a necklace, a little bow tie, a nice little blazer. I got a cardigan with my name on it in my class, honestly, 2016, turn up for it. And it's really a good experience. I don't see why I can't, don't get me wrong. When I was like you guys, like, oh, we're wearing uniforms next year. I don't really want to wear uniforms. Like, why can't I just wear what I want to wear? But then once we got them, it was just like, it makes you feel more safe. Because like you said, anybody can blend in with the surrounding if everybody's wearing something different. But if we're all in uniform and somebody that's not supposed to be there is there, you can pick that person out of the group because they're like the elephant in the room. So uniforms are really a good thing to have. And may I just say one more thing? I love the feeling that I have as a parent and as an adult walking into an environment where everybody looks like there's an element of conformist. And I'm not saying conforming in a bad way. You look like, when I go into an environment and I see the uniform, it makes it feel as though everybody's on an equal playing field and there's an embodiment of team. I feel like it's a shared value system that everybody is in there for the exact same reason that they ask you to bring number 2 pencils and 500 sheets of paper. It's part of the experience. Your uniform is an extension of the experience that you have in that environment amongst other people who have the same value system you are. Everybody wants to be safe, feel safe. Everyone wants to receive a great education. Everyone wants to be well liked, etc. That uniform is an extension of that experience that allows you to compete in many respects with people just like you. So I think it's a great thing.
That's a great comment, and unfortunately we are out of time. I'd like to thank both of you again for coming and sharing this knowledge with us about the uniform debate.
Now
and make sure you stay tuned and catch us at our next kickback.
Hi, I'm Alex, and welcome to Code Green, the segment where we help you to live an eco-friendly lifestyle. Today we're going to be talking about water pollution, which is a major detriment to the environment. Now there are 4 major causes of water pollution. The first is industrial waste. Toxic chemicals produced by industries and industrial air pollutants have the capability to change the color of water, increase the amount of minerals in it, change its temperature, and pose a serious hazard to water organisms. The second cause is sewage and wastewater. The sewage and wastewater that is produced by each household carries harmful bacteria and chemicals that can cause serious health problems. The result is a spread in several pathogens and thereby diseases. The third is mining activities. The process of crushing rock and extracting coal and other minerals from underground contains elements that, when extracted in the raw form, contain harmful chemicals and when mixed with water may result in health problems. The fourth is marine dumping. Items such as paper, aluminum, rubber, glass, plastic, and food take from 2 weeks to 200 years to decompose. When such items enter the sea, they not only cause water pollution, but are a threat to aquatic animals. The short and long-term effects of water pollution are far spread and wide-reaching. Contaminated drinking water can cause infections such as giardiasis. This infection is caused by drinking water that has been fouled by animal wastes and untreated waterways. Also, mercury levels can rise when water is polluted. Mercury has been found to interfere with the development of the central nervous system in fetuses and young children, which could potentially lead to a large amount of long-term side effects. So if you want to do something to change this and help make our water cleaner, visit websites like www.DeKalbWatershed.org and www.cleanwateraction.org to get tips and tricks on how you can impact the future of our planet. Thank you, and I'll see you next time on Code Green.
Next up, we have a guitarist
who's also in a band called God Sent Project.
He'll be performing a John Mayer cover.
Please welcome to the stage,
Abraham Najera.
it's really over. You made your stance. You got me crying. It always was your plan. For when my loneliness is through, I'm gonna find another you. You take your sweaters, you take your time. You got me crying. It always was your plan. For when my loneliness is through, I'm gonna find another you. When I was your lover, oh, no one else will do. For if I'm forced to find another, oh, I hope she looks like you. Yeah, and she's nicer too. So hold on, baby. Make a little getaway. My pride will keep me company. And you just gave your soul away. Oh, now I'm gonna test myself for two. Once for me and once for someone new. I'm gonna do some things you would never let me do. I'm gonna find another you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a beautiful performance.
Thank you.
Learn how to play the guitar.
Yeah, me too. So how long have you been saying that you've been singing and playing the guitar?
I've been playing the guitar since about 8-9 years now. Just kind of picked it up. Singing, ever since I moved to Atlanta about 5 years ago.
And what artists would you say that are your big inspirations?
Definitely John Mayer. Definitely John Mayer is one of my biggest influences. Just the way he plays, the everything that he does is awesome.
Okay, and you mentioned you were in a band. Like, could you specify how long you've been in that band?
I've been in this band. The main band right now that I'm playing in is called the Godson Project. You can find them hashtag TSGP. And it's a Christian band. I've been playing with them for maybe about five months now. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your beautiful performance.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, what's up? This is Armani Walter from Tucker High School.
And I'm Mia Hanna from Stevenson High.
And this is
Dappernistas.
Today on Dappernistas, we'll be giving our view on what's hot
and what's not. The influence that fashion has on our generation.
As well as talking about the uniform debate.
Uniforms? Man, I can't stand uniforms. I think we as teens have the freedom to dress how we want and express ourselves and our individuality.
Well, that is definitely a good point, but not everyone has the funds to splurge on the hottest trends or the newest kicks. Uniforms help even out the playing field.
True, true.
But even with uniforms, a true Dappernista can find ways to spruce up that basic wardrobe to still express their creativity.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, since a lot of teens go to school without uniforms, let's talk a little bit about what to wear.
Well, you seem to be quite a fashionable young lady, so tell me what's hot and what's not for the women.
Glad you asked. Definitely blouses and denim shirt is really hot, but you really want to avoid headbands, which are doing too much.
Oh, that is definitely something to avoid.
What about those fashionable guys? What's hot and what's not?
Well, for a new accessory for a male's wardrobe would have to be gold chains, gold, silver, a bunch, 5 to 6 of them. And what's definitely something to avoid should be the baggy pants that don't fit. That's something that shouldn't even be sold anymore. And also the oversized shirts.
That's cold.
Well, that's some good advice. I think we're all out of time for today.
Well, make sure you catch us next time on
Dappernistas.
So Kelly, did you catch me in my gold chains and shiny things on Dappernistas?
Yeah, y'all were looking real fresh.
Yeah, you know I gotta keep it fresh for all y'all. But today, joining us on our kickback, we have Miss McDuffie and Mr. Bostic.
Yeah, Ms. McDuffie is the Visual and Performing Arts Coordinator for DeKalb County Schools, and Mr. Bostic is the Orchestra and Band Director at Cedar Grove High School. And you know, today we're going to talk with the pit crew about visual and performing arts.
Yep. Now, pit crew, now I know y'all are talented young men and women. Tell me how much visual arts and performing arts means to all of you.
Visual and performing arts means basically my life. To me, visual and performing arts will save the world. They are an international language and it will keep the entire world together in any kind of crisis.
I love the arts because I've always loved the arts my whole life. I love visual arts, I love performing arts, and it just means everything to me.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a good release, especially for teens our age, because whether it's through acting or through poetry or whatever, whatever your medium is, like it's a way for you to express yourself and any feelings that you have. It's a way to get it out there and into the world and share it with people.
It brings people together. Like you can get somebody that really connects with you and y'all share something and it's just amazing. Like
it's a chance to express your creativity to the world. It's amazing to me how you can just open up your mind and create such wonderful things by using things such as acting, writing, drama, directing.
Now, Ms. McDuffie, do you have to, like, is it a gift? Like, do you have to be a gifted person or individual in order to master performing arts?
No, I think you just have to have a love for the performing or the visual arts. A lot of my best work and best students come, you know, without all the skills necessary, but you can learn it. As long as you have a passion and appreciation for the arts, I think anyone can excel in it.
And what are some things that you guys like to do, pit crew? What are some of your?
I love to draw and write songs, and I love to sing, like, a lot.
I love acting, and in fact, when I grow up, I would love to be a writer, director, and executive producer for television.
Oh, wow.
I love all the arts in general. I think even though I'm not good at all of them, there are some that I'm really good at, and there's some that I just love doing because it's so much fun to do it by myself and with other people.
Right. Even though I couldn't sing for my life, I just love hearing songs and dance and the rhythm.
Performing is lovely, but definitely technical theater, that's where it's at. Like back behind the scenes kind of stuff.
I think drama is really where it's at. Performance, just saying. On the stage?
I think all of it is great and they're all really awesome and they shouldn't be weighed one above the other because it's that cohesion together that makes it.
Without one, you can't get the other.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, take this show for example. If it wasn't for our talented crew, then none of this would have come together.
Right.
But all of us cast members on camera, we're still really great, right? On camera. It's still awesome, right? Yeah.
So why do you guys think that it's important for teens and young people to be involved in the visual and performing arts?
I'll take it, yeah. Being involved with visual and performing arts, primary thing is going to give you a connection to an audience. And usually that's a community. Of course, we want to all be on a world stage, but it starts at home. So you get to connect with whatever you're creating inside of you. You get to connect that directly to your audience. And that usually starts with the community. So I think that's very important.
And I like what the children said and the kids said about art is a cohesive language. It doesn't matter where you're from, what race you are, what culture you are. Art tends to bring people together, whether it's music, it could be wicked, it could be a play, it could be a dance, it could be anything that you want to bring as far as your talents to the stage or to the film and creativity wise. I think that the students can have wonderful careers in the arts. I think that there are so many different opportunities that you all have that I didn't even have exposure to, from the graphic art and design to tech theater and stage and prop and set to animation, all the way down to even how you can change a body over into wax and have the special effects. I mean, there's so many different careers that you all just have advantages to that I didn't have opportunity to even be exposed to at your ages. So I think the arts are wide open for you all, especially in a city as rich and culturally rich as Atlanta. Right. You're growing up right now while we are becoming the new Renaissance city of the South as far as the arts, and you all are really at the prime of the exposure to the arts, whether it be music, or even visual arts with the High Museum of Art here. You have so many different places you can go and visit. It's a great city to be in right now for the arts.
It's actually like always been my dream to become a singer, and I also want to be like a movie director and TV show director.
Okay, I have a question for the pit. It seems that a lot of times when schools have budget cuts, that the visual and performing arts are kind of the first programs to get cut. Like, what are your thoughts on that, and what are some ways that we can try and work to make sure that these programs stay in schools?
I think it's not fair. I mean, you never cut sports programs, or you never cut like the reading bowl or anything. It's always the performing arts, and I don't see why. Because
I think that a lot of the times the arts can be underrated because they don't necessarily have, I guess you could say, effects like academics do or like sports do. So sometimes they can be underrated and seem unnecessary. But really, I think that the arts are so important because it's an outlet for teens if we're stressed out or something, and it's also a place to meet new friends. And I think that it's definitely underrated.
I think one of the main reasons that arts in schools are always like the first target during budget cuts are because when you think about scholarships and you're going to a regular school, I guess the arts program isn't really the first place you think about. You think about academic scholarships, like, hey, he's smart, he's gonna get a scholarship. You think about athletic scholarships, you're like, hey, he's a basketball player, he's gonna get a scholarship. But the last thing you'll think about is, hey, he's a band, he's a trombone player, he's gonna get a scholarship. Or, hey, he's a singer, he'll get a scholarship. So I think it's just, like they said, underrated and just kind of uncommon when it comes to like scholarships and graduations and stuff.
Yeah, I think that it's a really bad idea for the arts to seem unnecessary, because when you think of all the things that, just take music for example, like when you see the music videos and all the people making beats and everything, back then they used to use actual instrumentalists and singers and people's vocals and stuff to be able to make things that you see every day. So if you take away that completely from the youth, and how are you able to continue that throughout media as one example, and just throughout life? It's like really
it's a representation of the fact that we're living in an increasingly rigid and mechanical world, and because you can't quantify progression in art, you can see a student's progress in math, but how do you measure someone's development and growth in art? You know, that's an emotive thing. That's something that's an outpouring. It's a bubbling up of actual emotion. And I think that even though we have Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and we're so interconnected and we're always communicating, art is still the only way that we can really communicate on like an instinctual, raw level. You know, it's how we convey that sort of emotion and you know,
I think it's absolutely tomfoolery. I think it's absolute tomfoolery that they try to target the arts programs, but I think it's like the corporate people, the like ones who do not see what the arts do on a daily basis. They don't see the effects that they have on the students. They don't see how the arts make them happy. The corporate people would just say, "Oh, we don't see anything happening, so we're going to cut them because we don't see any factual like growth or anything. So they're not important. We're just going to cut them." They don't see what it does for performing artists and visual artists every day in our daily lives. They don't see that. That's why they target us.
So, Ms. McDuffie, as like your role, you are the visual performing arts coordinator. So how do you try and make sure that these programs stay in these schools and that they're not the ones to get cut?
Well, I'm a #1 advocate for you all first, the children. And I believe that as long as there are humanitarian efforts and people alive, you're going to need the arts. I mean, you're going to need music, you're going to need the visual arts, and with the slows that are coming down, hopefully that data that you all are doing great on, might I add. Hopefully that data will help to justify the need for the arts in the schools and also demand for even more resources for the arts, as well as studios, as well as labs, as well as materials, paint, kilns, clay, things that you all need to be very successful in your slows. And hopefully more teachers will be hired as far as visual art teachers and performing art teachers in general to help to support that data that's coming out, that kids who do well in art also do well on the state standardized tests. They also do better on in math, in language arts. You are better performers when you are a well-rounded student. So hopefully as we continue to advocate for the arts, continue to support you all in your efforts to be artists, whatever that field may be, we'll have more and more support coming from the corporations and coming from the big companies that can put the funding behind supporting the arts and public education.
And I know we have like some DSA students here.
We do have some DSA students.
How do you guys feel about going to a high school that is just specifically tailored to arts, whereas we have other students that go to just regular high schools? Is that like, do you feel like, oh, it's like a different level, or is it just like any other school?
I don't think it is as much of a different level as it is just you get a feel for everything. Like you audition for a major and minor, but that doesn't limit what you're able to pursue. Like there are always opportunities to try something new or try something different, and then with the elective program you can also try different classes that you've never had before or that aren't in your major and minor. And if you do have like more than two talents, you can use that throughout your other opportunities that they provide at the school.
Yeah, there's not really like a focus on a specific art. Like say you audition for drama or creative writing, but you may still use that in technical theater or in media. We're not saying like on a different level. It's just more like there's a longer focus and you get a better understanding for it. Like most of the students, they really want to pursue that art in the future, and they stay on top of that, and that's why they have a true love for the arts, whatever it may be, and it may even be more than one art that's provided at a school.
And you know how we were talking earlier about how arts are usually the first places they target when they want to do budget cuts? Okay, so DeKalb School of the Arts. We are DeKalb School of the Arts. We're an art school. We should have the biggest stage in DeKalb County. We should have the biggest dance room out of all the schools in DeKalb County. We should, because we're an art school specifically devoted to arts. All of our electives are arts classes, no PE or anything like that. But we do have a PE class, but mainly arts classes. But as you can see, we're not shown that much attention because we're an art school. We don't have sports, so DeKalb County pays more attention to other schools because they're regular schools, or they have sports, they're normal schools. But we're an art school without sports and things like that, and therefore I feel like we're pushed more to the side. It's like art school.
I think you guys are underrating how much of a jewel the county sees you as. I don't think that you know how important you are. It's not that you're more important or less than any of the other schools. We have great art teachers throughout the county. I have really good teachers supporting the program. But I really want you all to realize you're special, and the county recognizes that you're very special, and it doesn't compare or contrast you to a stronger school that has a great band or one that has a great football team. They're all equally as important, and they all have their place. And Region 2 is very important, all the DSA and DESA babies. So don't think that you're not being paid attention to. You have me as your #1 advocate, and I'm right there in all the meetings making sure that you get everything that you need and that you deserve, and we will continue to support DSA and DESA.
Well, I actually have a question for our guest. I was going to ask you, what's your advice to those who would like to pursue a career in the arts outside of high school and college?
Okay, just to continue your craft. I started, I'm a product of DeKalb County schools. I went to Briar Lake Elementary School, Snapfinger, and Kelly Lake. I went to Henderson High School, and I went to Georgia State University as a studio design major. And my passion for the arts, I've been drawing since I probably picked up a pencil, is just to continue to hone in on your craft, to practice every day, and to continue your passion for it, and it'll lead you down the greatest pathways in life. Don't ever give up on your dreams, just to continue to pursue them.
So Mr. Bostic, what are some ways that you encourage your students to make sure that they're involved in the arts and that they are able to revel in all that it has to offer?
Right, there's a buzzword that educators are using, college and career readiness, and that's kind of going back to when she was talking about the SLOs, the student learning objectives, those tests. Those are ways to measure, that we measure these performing arts type things. So you get with your teacher, you make sure you're on that track, you're doing everything you need to do by 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, and whatever your discipline. I know more about music than, say, visual arts. But with that comes the scholarship opportunity so that you can go on to continue to master your craft at any particular schools. Now there are a lot more schools. You know, I'm a product of Redan High School, and I was able to, by making all state band, I was able to get a scholarship to college where I didn't major in education per se, but I was a performing arts major, and I actually did all the studio stuff that's exciting the kids right now. There are more programs and more schools like that. So your instructors will be the best sources of how you can get on that path and get to master what it is you're trying to do.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. I hate to say it, but we want to thank both of y'all for coming in, joining us on our kickback. So catch us next time on The Bridge. Bye.
In 2009, 89,114 students graduated in visual arts and performing arts, more than maths, computer science, and chemical engineering combined.
So don't underestimate the art freaks.
A lot of people see performing and visual arts as just a hobby.
But that's definitely not the case. People actually go to college and major and minor in dance, art, and music.
There are colleges all over the United States devoted to encouraging the arts.
That's the beauty of college, my friends. You get to learn about what you want to learn.
Let's chat up with some DeKalb students about performing arts after high school.
So what kind of arts do you guys like to do?
There are many different art types that I prefer. I like dance, contemporary, ballet, hip hop. There's singing, I like classical, R&B, gospel. And then art, you can use your own personality to make different art pieces.
So I would say like the arts I like are mainly like creative writing and media and drama, because through those I could kind of express myself more and just show my individuality. Like with creative writing, I get to write stories and like come up with my own versions of things, and it's just nice to do that, to put my own heart into something.
Those things that you guys like to do you want to pursue them in college, or what are you going to do with them?
I do think I could pursue my arts through college and maybe have that as a career. I think that it would be nice to open up a center for kids, and I could teach them different art types so that if they want to pursue it, I can give them the extra help.
Cool. Great. Prentice?
Well, I haven't really thought that far, but I think like if I did choose to pursue my arts after high school and college or something, it would be something I would probably like a lot. You know, working on a newspaper or somehow getting onto a news channel just by my media talent, or just somehow.
So those are the
working
type
that
of
in
jobs you guys want to get into? The communications aspect of arts? Or what kind of jobs do you guys want with your communicative arts?
I think that I would want to take my art talents and help others and like minister and show them like there's different types out there, and that if they have it, that it's a great way to showcase what they have.
Okay.
Great.
And like take my talent and show people that they can show their creativity and have it out there and not worry about anybody else and just do what they want.
Cool.
Okay. So do you think, as far as arts in the community, do you think that they should keep them as hobbies, or they should make them a career?
I think that if someone has an art talent, that they should pursue it, and if they enjoy it, why not do it as a living? Because your job is something that you would want to do. But it all depends on how the person feels. Like if you have a real passion for it, you can do it as a career. But if it's just something that you would like to do, you can keep it as a hobby.
Okay. That's going to be it, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
This has been Harlow.
And Joy with What's the Move?
Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm glad to see you back on the bridge and tune in to watch another great segment of Parenting 101. So sit back and relax as we bring awesome tips about parenting. I'm your host, Kelly, and today we're going to discuss some facts about the clothing of today. The post for today says, fashion is a very popular thing nowadays. People have to have all the new shoes, shirts, etc. So I want to know, are teens pressured to wear the clothes they do, or are they just wearing what they want? Because I remember when I was growing up during the time of afros and disco clubs, that you wore what you wanted. Fashion has changed since then, but the will to wear what you want is still there. Or is it? That's a great question. Fashion has really made a big impact in the modern era when it comes to teens. But I don't think that teens are super pressured to wear what the hottest threads are. It's really about what they like and what they want to wear. Although there are some teens that are worried about how others view them, they really should ask themselves, how do I view myself? It's a great time to really talk to your kids and see what they like to wear and make sure that they're doing what they want and dressing for them instead of dressing for others. That's all the time that we have for today. So catch you next time on Parenting 101.
As the summer day, my cherry amor, distant as the Milky Way, my cherry amor, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only girl my heart beats for. How I wish you were mine. In a cafe, or sometimes on a crowded street, I've been near you, but you never noticed me. My cherry amor, you're the only girl my heart beats for. How I wish that you were mine. La 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 la. Maybe someday I'll share your little distant cloud. Hey, maybe someday I'll share your little distant cloud. My cherry amor, pretty little one that I adore. You're the only girl my heart beats for. How I wish that you were mine. Hey, la 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 la
Thanks for tuning into The Bridge. We hope you had fun and learned something new about uniforms and performing arts.
And make sure you catch us next time as we talk and discuss about drugs and violence.
Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, hashtag it, and share The Bridge with your friends.
From everyone here, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.